The people gathered tonight in northern Kentucky to grieve 4 people killed at a birthday party and to pray for the 3 victims still recovering.
I mean, it touched everybody in that room's heart. I know that it has to touch them.
The Florence police chief says the suspect, 21-year-old Chase Garvey, wasn't invited to the party on that night. But a neighbor says one of the victims, Delaney Erie, was his ex-girlfriend. Tonight, WKYT's Grayson Passmore talked to community members and leaders about why they say they need to lean on each other now more than ever. Our top story at 11.
The Florence community experienced a tragedy over the weekend. And Tuesday night, hundreds gathered together, hoping to feel a little less alone.
It's emotional for the families, and we have 3 people in the hospital still fighting, and they are fighting. So it's just a lot, but we're getting through it together as a community.
Mayor Julie Metzger-Abishan says this was a birthday party. It was meant to be a happy time. Instead, 4 people lost their lives.
I mean, when you have that many young people, first of all, it's tragic when any young person dies. But to have that many, I don't know how to process it, to be honest.
They mourn the loss of 19-year-old Delaney Erie, 20-year-old Hayden Ribicki, 20-year-old Shane Miller, and 44-year-old Melissa Parrott, who died while shielding her daughter, Chloe, from the shooter. Chloe is a student at Eastern Kentucky University. She's one of the 3 young people continuing to heal in the hospital, while their family and friends try to begin to heal in these church pews.
This is a space for people to feel like they're not by themselves in this, that there are lots of other people who are grieving alongside them, who are processing this, who maybe are experiencing anxiety and fear, and we can do that together.
Together and through their faith.
Hopefully on a path to healing in the next days, weeks, months. So this is just the first step in a long process for sure.
In Florence, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
And police say Garvey took off after the shooting and then later died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was on probation for a felony at the time of the shooting. In 2023, Garvey was convicted of an unlawful transaction with a minor in the 2nd degree. In 2021, he was charged with the rape of a 13-year-old girl. The Florence mayor was asked if this opens the door for a larger conversation surrounding gun control.
Our focus is those grieving families and those in the hospital, and these conversations will take place. I'm sure that there will be people who want to further that conversation, but that really has not been on our minds as a city.
The mayor says free counseling services will be offered to the community tomorrow.